Good morning. It is Thursday morning. It's just gone 6:15. Hubby has left for work. My son is still in bed. He hasn't got work today. He's got a day holiday. As I said yesterday and today, he sort of booked off so we could do some gardening and get some of those roots up so we can put the the sheeting down the membrane and the bark. Obviously it rained off and on yesterday, which was actually forecast, and also a subscriber told me that the weather was breaking up from Wednesday, and hubby checked because I presume I've got it but I don't check it, like a weather app. So yeah, so I often used to say before the lockup is what's the weather forecast for our area, and then I can sort of judge what is needed, what to wear, that sort of thing, especially if I'm out. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I was going to have a break Friday and then the weekend, whereby Saturday hubby will be home Saturday and Sunday, but my son will be working Saturday, so he'll be here Sunday. So I would have somebody here with me on the Saturday, and then there'd be 3 of us on the Sunday, which we would have really ploughed on with the garden, especially trying to sort out the front and cut it back. Now the tip's open. Now my recycle bin's empty for my garden waste, which went on Tuesday. Both bins were full, and I've said this before, in our area, even if you've got sacks, because not everybody's got wheelie bins, we only had them since the 2nd of December, we do pay, I think it's £42 for the year to have our garden waste picked up. So since they started picking up this year, specifically because they failed to pick it up before in December, which I can understand, but we were still doing a little bit of gardening, do you know what I mean? Making sure it does go out, because obviously we paid for it. Plus that bin is usually full, because we've worked it out to do our hedge at least a couple of days before pickup, which is the weekend before our garden waste. So by the time we've done the hedge, both lawns weeded, that bin is full. So and it will be getting full on probably a trip to the tip, because they don't take anything that's large branches or something, so we'll have to see how things go. Yeah, that's enough going on about the garden, because I can do more of a in-depth conversation, although I think I've covered most things about that. We are in my cubby, my craft and office cubby. Yes, this is how big it is, and there's my chair, and I do have one of these thing. I think it came from I like to think Home Bargains, because sometimes I have it in the car, especially if I'm sitting at the back. If our son's with us, I let him sit at the front because he's over 6 foot and more leg room, and it just supports my back. As you can see, just that little bit of support. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was only like £1.99 or £2.99, something like that. But it just, and I'm going to take it really easy, I think, today, because the last 2 days I've cleaned the upstairs, the downstairs, and before I start any other projects which are lined up, I want to get it, fairly decent clean. Some things weren't thorough, and I kept putting little comments in because I didn't want people coming back and said, well, you didn't clean this, I didn't clean that. I cleaned what I could and what was safe. Although my son was here, I want him to have a bit of because he did help with the hedge on Sunday. I did want him to have a little bit of relaxing time. I say I was waiting on the weather, but it wasn't really worth starting it because I say it was raining off and on. But there's a few things, like on top of the wardrobes needs cleaning. I need to do on top of that unit that's just through there, the lounge, that black unit on top. I need to take things off. These are all things I need steps. I haven't done the we'll call it the shelving on our stairs, and yes, our stairs go from upstairs. You've got a few steps, then you've got a little bit of stairway, you know, flat, that's got shelves on. I've had shelves on there ever since we moved in, and then you've got the second lot of stairs going down, but the shelves hold the DVDs. That's one thing that slept, because we were transferring a lot of the DVDs into the silver cases we got from Maplin's. The only problem is that it used to all be in alphabetical order on the shelf. DVDs have been borrowed, brought back. This is all before lockdown, and watched, but they didn't go back in alphabetical order. So believe it or not, once a year I normally have all those DVDs off the shelves. And if you've seen any of my footage, especially from, now I don't know whether you would have actually seen it yesterday, because I actually had my stand on there when I was doing the stairs. But that shelving's going to be done, and that may be, I'll see how today goes, but that may be on the cards for tomorrow. Plus I've got an Iceland food delivery as well. I managed to get a slot this week. Couldn't get a VIP slot last week, and I did message them. Maybe they didn't have the drivers, but I managed to get a slot, and that's coming between 6 and 8 in the morning. So I've got my t-shirt on. This is an Amazon one. I haven't worn this year, and that's why I thought. It's got little, like a baby Eeyore on. And no, I'm not grumpy. I am quite a happy bunny this morning. I do have a t-shirt on that says it's got a bunny hanging and everything. Yeah. So I just feel as though this does show my stomach up quite a bit. It's one that carves in, but I do like the design, and say hubby keeps saying that I do tend to wear a lot of looser clothing. You know, I'm still trying to lose the weight. It is a battle, and I'm hoping to start incorporating those pieces I do to try and keep fit. It might seem quite boring, but I try and keep active. I try to do a certain amount each day. I did have a reset yesterday. I was in bed for I was in agony actually, back, legs, hand. Yes, sugar levels were low, about 8:15. It might be that time because I uploaded my video for that day. I'm trying to upload on the same day. As you know, normally it's a day later, but it depends. I'm trying to get in a routine to actually upload that day. I did answer a few comments, and I did actually watch a few videos, and please check out Diane Kelly. She's a good subscriber. I think, bless her, she is suffering like me, actually I think she has it worse than me. A few medical problems, but we keep going, and I'm sure this, doing YouTube does help with a lot of things, especially anxiety and panic attacks and things like I suffer from. If you told me about 4 years ago, or even 3, that I would do YouTube, I would say no way, no way. I wouldn't say boo to a kitten. Very reserved, you know, and don't like crowds and you know, groups. I'd hate doing presentations. They really would make me feel ill. So, and going off topic a bit, because I am supposed to be cleaning my cubby. You've heard the story about this. Originally, it had a door across there. Now, we call this, or hubby and my son call it, the TARDIS, because the amount I've got crammed in. This is my happy place, as you've probably seen from my canvas, and I do apologise if you've seen all this before, but this is my girly happy place. Everywhere else is cream, except sometimes that bedding like I've got on at the moment with the red flowers on, white, but it tends to be quite masculine, and I'm sure you can understand that. I do sort of bring in cushions and soften it up for the different seasons and everything, but yeah, I think it's quite masculine, but this is quite girly. Now originally behind me had like a platform thing, trunking, because this was a lot of the trunking that went through the home, because when we purchased this in 1987, yeah, I'm sure that's right, 1987, yeah, there was a door on there, had all the trunking for the upstairs, downstairs, because it was blow air. And because we were getting married, we were purchasing a home, everything, we couldn't afford an awful lot. If I can ever find some pictures, I'll try and show you. We had the bare essentials, I must admit. We didn't have a dining room suite, we didn't have a washing machine, didn't have a freezer, did have bedroom furniture, had that MFI set that I've still got, yeah, 30 plus years, and that is the second or third bed. I don't know how many mattresses we've had, but yeah, that is a second pine bed. But I always wanted a nice bedroom. We did have a 3-piece suite for a wedding present, but we had a tiny, tiny black and white TV. We didn't even have colour TV. We had a black and white TV. Everything was quite bare. The 2 bedrooms had nothing in it, because we had, obviously we got 3 bedrooms, so that is it. I'm still going off topic. You're wanting to see this cleaning one, and I am going to do my nails as well. I'm going to do my nails actually first thing, but I thought I'd come on. I'm not sure if you like these natters. It's nice, you know, getting backwards and forwards. I have had a few comments that want to know some background, and I have covered that a little bit in different videos, rather than sit and just rabbit on about my life. But yeah, hubby's my soulmate. I have 2 adult sons, and I have 1 granddaughter. So yes, so that's background. But I do love this t-shirt. I just feel a bit self-conscious, and I know I'm keep saying this because it is tighter. It does go in, but it does give me that shape. And maybe I should get out my comfort zone and wear, you know, some of my other clothes, as I did my glamour week, going through my summer season. But when I go in my wardrobe, I do check other pieces. Say I don't put anything away for the seasons. I just move it maybe to one side of the wardrobe to the other and bring other things forward. But it's all there because our weather is changeable. Even hubby has taken a jumper and jacket because it was cooler at work. It's surprising how the temperature drops. Sometimes this catches people out, and this is where colds come in. I do have my fluffy socks on because I do suffer with cold feet. But anyway, shall we get on? This is my craft cubby. I call it a cubby. I was saying, yeah, it had a door there. It originally had the trunking in. Then it actually had a desk which had mahogany. Mahogany, is that right? And that's why some of the shelving up here, you can't see because it's just out of shot. Some of it is actually mahogany. Then we've put extra white shelving in recently this year to hold some of my boxes. And then when my eldest son moved out, that weekend actually, he moved out basically Friday, Saturday. By Sunday his room was stripped, and within about a month, knew exactly what we wanted. We turned it into a games room. Our youngest son, who still lives with us, had the choice between the 2 bedrooms. His one, which is the smallest one and in the middle of our home, or what used to be our eldest son. And he umped and dahed, and he decided to stay where he was so that he could make that room into a games room for the family, and himself a second lounge. So he's sort of got a bedroom and a games lounge room, while he's saving up for a deposit for his home, because obviously when all this was going, he was still at college. So yeah, so he has planned out, like our eldest son, they have plans like we have done all our life since we've been together. Even before I was with hubby, I had my plans and my goals and things like that, you know. And if it was quite a big goal, I would make little goals leading to that main goal, if that makes sense. Again, I know I'm going to keep saying this, going off topic. I would say all of this has come from IKEA. I do have these drawers here, as you've seen before, and I think, dare I say, they were about £95 each, I think. I sort of had this done, I think it could have been before my 50th birthday actually, yeah, it probably was, but this is what was leading up to my birthday gift. So I've got 2 of these aside each other. One of them was down that little alley thing, but it's very awkward to get back there, especially twisting, and I don't want to hurt my back anymore. So as I say, I got 2. This is the second one. That one has all my jewellery, makeup, nail polishes in, and I might do a refresher on that because, as I say, and maybe natter along while I'm showing you. This one has like Sizzix stuff because that's my Sizzix machine up there, and then going down like my embellishments, it's got my ribbons. Down here it's got like tools and an extension lead, my own screwdriver, and Mother's Day years ago I had a case that's got some tools in. I'm not allowed to drill. I wanted a pink drill. We have got about 4 or 5 here. Hubby says if there's any drilling to be done, and I insist on doing it, is to be there, which I can understand. He doesn't want me going through wires and whatever, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I tried to get a little bit more independent sometimes. And then right at the bottom I have got me guillotine or paper cutter, and I've also got a laminator. So I know what's in every drawer and it just works out well. This part was out of the kitchen range, again at IKEA. I can't say how much they were. Maybe about £2-3 for the pots, and maybe, I don't know, £10-15 for the pole. Don't quote me, it has been a few years since I put it, so I can remember everything came from, but I can't remember all the prices. And this is how it is all set out. I say this one's got just my hole punch and staplers and things in that one. I've got scissors here. This one's got all the different scissors, and it's got a magnifying glass. Me and hubby are 50 plus, so yeah. And scissors. Although we have normal scissors in, actually we've got 2 here, 2 different sizes. Although we've got scissors in my big drawer in the kitchen, the guys know where the scissors are. They know where certain things are, and I've made it quite easy and obtainable for them to actually get those pieces out. And then I have my shelf here, picture shelf. I'm thinking that I would have liked a second one, and that's where very often it gets cluttered and everything. And I've got some things, and yes, I keep showing this, thank you Anne, this beautiful card here. I just love it, and she's got me owl on the back, and I love that. So I always keep that out. I keep saying I'm going to put some magnets on the back, maybe have it over here, but this does get cluttered. But it's sort of my like pieces that I've made when I did my crafting week. I've put up here. You remember these boxes? Look. So I've got those. I've still got fluff because this is from when I've had the door open. The back door's there, as I said. I'm hoping that fluff is now easing up, and things like this that I've made. Yeah, I need to put all those away. So yeah, so usually I do get kind of sidetracked. I keep saying to myself, well, I'm going to dust the whole of my desk. I'm not going to do any crafting. But as soon as I get in here, this is like my creative space. That's when I tend to get sidetracked, as I said, and sort of start pulling things out when I'm dusting. I think, oh, yeah, I can use that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Down here, I will show you, I've got my paper rack that's working out really well. that I got from the charity shop. I think it was like £1.49 or something, and that's just got all my like my paper pads in, like this one I got from I believe was this Hobbycraft. I think this might have been Hobbycraft. As I said, it's got all the papers, so this works out well. This was originally down there. I tend to store things down this bit. It goes right back actually, with stuff I don't use very often. It does have my wrapping station. That's something I really need to sort out, because I had this idea, it might seem strange, and I tend to put bags down here, not so much now because we're on lockdown, but things that, like I'm doing a haul, I try and do my haul straight away after my shopping. But I used to put bags down here, and at Christmas obviously things I'm going to wrap up and everything, so it gets really awkward. But I had visions of having, I've got a little unit again down the side that has all my wrapping station on, and that came from IKEA. I think that was £12, and I was so proud. It's only a little cube thing, and it slots down there really well. It used to be here, but I swapped them over. And I had visions of asking Hobby about putting some heavy duty wheels on it, and maybe I don't know, some kind of pole or bar. It's pretty good like this, because he did adapt the steps for our caravan, and I've got a handle, and so I can pull it, so it's like a trolley. Yeah, I could buy a trolley, but this unit, I don't know, I'd have to discuss it with them, because it's quite heavy when you've got everything in it, so I'm not sure if that's feasible. But I did see something in IKEA that I quite like to help with my wrapping station. I do have quite a lot of wrapping paper, bags, packaging, tissue. Don't use bows so much, but I do like ribbons and everything, and I have actually covered this before. That might be another video as well. If I'd had space, I would have put something just here, but then that would actually be very awkward to get down there. Yes, I can actually squeeze through, but I just don't want to do it at the moment because of my back and everything, and I don't want, it's really not that much room there. So that really should be my cold method, you know, warm, hot and cold. I should have it just there. Anything cold, that's storage, maybe crafting stuff or stuff that I don't use so much, but keep an eye on it, because I don't want to store stuff that's not used. But as I said, because we're on lockdown, I haven't done the wrapping, haven't done the gifts and everything, so yeah, I really would like to sort that out. This is going to be in 2 parts, I think, at this rate. I don't know if an hour, maybe long, is going to be too long for video. I might have to review that in a minute. Desk behind me, you will see as we go along, that's from IKEA, and I'm not sure how much it was. If I remember right, because hubby bought me all this. It is more of a junior desk, but it holds a lot of stuff and it fits the space. It was just a bit longer than what hubby was expecting, because he wanted it, I think it's that much longer than what originally wanted, but it works. So yeah, and you purchase this bit behind extra, and if I remember rightly, I'm sure it was extra, because it is separated, and that's got a magnetic board behind. It's got a little drawer here, cupboard, then this drawer here, that's mostly my washi tape. I do use, and I've brought this up a lot, is the warm, hot and cold method, how I use things, and also projects, or if I'm into something, a lot of paper crafts, that's why I've got all the papers there. That's how I work things. And as you've seen, on lockdown, I did do my little project of that little cabinet that I got. I think it was £4.99. It was from Bernardo's charity shop, and we painted it cream, and it's like my got my embellishments, pegs and things like that. But you may see things, and I don't know if you're bored, because a lot of this I've covered, but it depends on the project that I'm doing. Things that I frequently use is hot, so they go where I can reach them. like my Sizzix machine here, my big one. I've got my smaller one here because the smaller one I can use on my desk. Big one usually in the lounge or on the dining room table. It's just too big with the space on my desk to move it. So let's get on with my nails. And I did have a subscriber ask about the nail polish. I did incorporate a picture, I think a couple of times on my video, and when I did actually did my toenails, and so I'll show you that on the desk. Right, yes, I've got my coffee and it's going cold. They moan at me because I know cold coffee is disgusting, but unless I'm actually sitting watching TV, if I'm doing things like this, yeah, I do tend to get sidetracked. The pink cutting board I got from Amazon, and yeah, nails are pretty bad from cleaning and doing the gardening. Now I will, as it's, I'm not sure, has this got a colour on it? That's the thing. I meant to have had a look. I am not 100% sure. Here it comes to the magnifying glass. I'm not sure if this has got actually a colour on it. I can't actually see a colour, no. But this is, it's from the PS range, which, if I remember rightly, because I've had this quite a few years now, and I do love it, and I use it a lot this time of year, came from Primark. I think I only paid like 95p for it, but it's bright pink, as you know. I'm going to redo them. So that one came from Primark. No, I said I can't see the actual name of it, but you can see it's quite bright pink. Don't think I've seen the same bright pink in Poundland before the lockdown. I'm not 100% sure, but I will look round because obviously I would want another one of these. But I did promise myself, if you remember when I was sorting my nail polishes out, that I wouldn't actually buy another nail polish this year. Use what I got. So that's the bright pink. And then I top it off with some clear glitter, which is this one. This has got Calvin Klein on, CK. This I'm sure was a Poundland one, and it just protects the polish once you've got it on. Now also the nail polish came from Poundland. This is the one I use, and I have actually purchased a larger bottle. Sometimes the bottles vary in sizes, I've noticed, for the same price. So I do use this nail polish with normal nail polish, and what I normally do is use a kitchen roll, soak some of the polish in and wrap it around, because sometimes I've got 3 to 4 coats of polish on, especially as I always usually put 2 coats of this on and then at least one of that. So there's usually 3 coats anyway. It just makes it easier. But one thing is, as you know, I have 2 coloured gel polishes. That's a pale pink and a lilac one, and I have a base and top coat for gel because you don't need the lamp. So when I put those on, I've got this one. I have got another box. This is about empty. This is gel polish remover, suitable for the removal of gel polish, and this obviously is only 150 mils compared to the 250, but this also comes from Poundland, and this really gets the gel polish off really well. And sometimes if I know I've got 3 or 4 coats on, sometimes I will use this one because it gets it off pretty straight, actually, quite quickly. But most of the time I do use this one. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'll be back with you because I want to have my coffee and then get my nails done and then get on. Alright, I've got my nails done. There we are. Got the pink and that clear glitter on. Yeah, hubby says that's lethal. I did actually lose my nail of my pinky. They are actually my nails. sometimes I have false nails, and I have actually got some like ones that you glue on, but I haven't put them on for a while, especially with lockdown, because I've been doing a lot of different pieces, been crafting, I've been doing gardening, cleaning, all that sort of thing, so catching up on everything to do. I think this is going to end up being quite a chatty video, so I hope you don't mind that. I'm not sure if I will be fast forwarding or putting music or talking. We shall see how things go. Again, I have actually shared this little space, my little craft cubby, my happy place before, and I will go through some of the things where I've got them from and some of my favourites as well. So I think it's finally time to actually get something done. It has been slightly delayed because, I don't know, looking through papers, I know this is what happens, craft papers, watching a bit of YouTube as well. So before my battery runs out on my phone, needs recharging, let's get on. Right, so I'm going to start with the top bit. I don't tend to dust this bit too much because that actually belongs to the guys, and this is the bit that I will be working on very shortly, is this curtain bit, because it's getting very annoying when the guys go to the router or anything and this keeps sliding down. So I have got some material which I'm hoping to show you in a moment, but I'm going to start with this bit. This box came from the range. If I remember rightly, it was $8.99, and it's got Being Fabulous Takes Practice, and this is actually what I use as my card storage. These are all cards that I've made, and hubby actually made me these dividers out of acrylic. So I've got like miscellaneous, thank you, sorry, hello, and wedding anniversary and things like that, children, and then I've got male and female. So it just makes nice presentations also, and to keep those cards nice, because you do spend time making them. And this, as I say, this box came from the range, and I just love it, and it's just the right size, and it just slots in there lovely. So like I said, I will be cleaning and nattering as we go along, I think. And I do also have a pink duster I specifically leave here, which is this one, as I said, and it's extendable, so I can get into the little places like that without actually having to take everything down. So as I said, I'm gonna probably chat while I'm getting this done, just although I've already had quite a long conversation, I know that for a fact, but you know, getting things done while you're nattering. And as I said, I do like the box, and it just fits in there lovely. And I have got some material to make a little curtain to go along there, because this is just all ruffled up, you know, just to hide all the router and everything. So this was a Poundland thing, just this succulent in this little pink bloom pot. Again, going in with my theme. This container here I got from, I believe it was Lidl. It's actually a jewellery box. But as you know, I keep all my paper clips and pegs and everything in here, and it just works out really good. There we are. Do excuse, you might see fluff flying around. Like I said, have you probably seen the footage? Back door is opposite here, and when I've had the door open, even with a curtain, fluff has just come in. That's why I constantly seem to be cleaning as well. So I'll just move those out the place. So I'm working down this way. Today I'm not taking all the boxes down. I don't do that very, shall I say, regular, but they do come down and I go through them. Usually 2 or 3 times a year I will take everything out, but not today. So I've got these baskets. These baskets actually came from One Below, and I bought them just before lock-up, and I really wish I had some more. Part of me thinks instead of going for the pink one boxes that are at the top, that you'll see in the footage, I really wish in a way I'd gone for possibly white, just to keep it a bit more neutral. But there you are. I wanted to bring the pink out. You might be able to just see my gift bags. They're on a hook behind there. So let's just get this cleaned. The light here, that actually came from IKEA as well, and it's quite nice just to have that little bit of light if need be. Also a little clock that came from IKEA. So at the moment this one is empty, so probably doing something with that. I had thought about moving this one and having another one of these just here. That's why I really wish I'd got an extra one, but we shall see. We'll see how things go when you're able to go to the shops. I'm not at this point taking everything out because I think you'll find it quite boring. That one's just got some punches in. That one's got my heat gun to do the embossing. And then I've got my different cases in there with the different pens. So that's how I organise the top bit. And as I say, all this works out really well and easy reaching. Going here, I've got my pads. These containers also came from IKEA, and obviously for drawers and everything. But funny enough, they fit in really well in these little cubbies here. So that's that one. And then the next one has got all my paper pads in that I use in. I use some more than others. Again, I'm trying not to get sidetracked today too much, as I've spent time doing my nails and watching YouTube. So I want to get on, but I really will sit down probably when I'm on my own or something and go through all my paper pads and pull out ones that I haven't used much or haven't used at all. And I normally do Christmas cards all through the year as well. I don't think I've actually done any Christmas cards so far. So then by the time December comes through all round, then I have done my cards. I do like these little ones. These are really good for cards, you know, for backing and everything. These all came from the works, and these are not all of them. They have got them all in different ones. I've just got soft purple, bright florals, vintage blues and basic bright. So that's those. I did alter it, as I said, because this one was down the bottom, and I'm going to move the camera angle in a minute because I have got my big shot here. So I'm just going to pause a moment and turn the angle. Right, it might seem a strange angle, but to get the whole desk, and so I'm not constantly changing the angle of the camera. So this is my desk, and this is why I chose this after 2 days of, that's my chair, it's a bit creaky. Yes, the chair came from, guess what, yeah, IKEA again. I am trying to do this near enough in one take. There's going to be mistakes, things pronounced wrong. Do apologise. I just want to carry on, and just what you see is what you get. I keep saying that. I've got my water now. I've had my morning coffee. So yeah, funny enough, this was actually from Iceland. Had it delivered. It was at Mother's Day time, and I just love it. And I do try and have at least 2 of these a day, if not more. When it's hotter, yeah, I tend to drink more. Feather duster. Dust wipes from Wilko's. Yes, I do get through a lot. I know it's not very good for the environment. I try and not use too many sprays. I do use bathroom spray for the bathroom and the cloakroom, other ways. I don't want to use them. There was my makeshift, yes, when my stand broke. That's why I have got a new one which you can't see. I've shared it, actually. It's something that hubby came up with, made me a stand. So in here I've got some cards that I made when we did the crafting week. Here's a little boy and little girl cards. Thinking of you sort of cards, and I want to make some more of these because I've still got the pieces to do these, because I want to get some notes out to family and friends. I still think it's nice to actually receive something through the post. So at the moment I'm just going to put those there, but they will eventually go in the box. This is my small big shot, and this is what I got from I think it was Hobbycraft, and it's the World of Sport, because I had problems in doing mail cards and finding reasonable embellishments to do the cards. So it's got some papers, things to cut out, and as I say, it's really good. The only thing is the fact that a lot of my family are not necessarily into sports, and if I know someone's into football, then I could do football, racing, cars, but I can always use the cards in a lot of the mail cards for family, because they're all driving or into cars. So that's that, and of course I keep little scrap bits in there, and that looks like it's a little sort of box type thing. So yeah. So because it is an awkward shape, I could actually, I suppose, put it in, I might do actually, put it in my paper rack rather than have it there. So I might move that one. So let's just dust this bit. So I'm working hopefully from top to bottom this way. And this has got really dusty. This is one of my best buys from a car boot. I've had it now over a year, maybe a year and a half, and I just love this because it was two guys and they had so much stuff. They had anything and everything selling, and they called it a printer. In fact, it was hubby. I was actually a couple of stalls down, and hubby came and found me because he knew what it was, because it was sort of months after we bought Big Shop, which is up here, the big white one from Hobbycraft. And he says, and he noticed the name and obviously the plates. These plates are quite expensive actually to purchase. And he said, I want you to see something. He says, I don't know what it is. It has to be something that he really wants for him to probably say anything. He usually leaves it up to me. And this lacquer bit's come off, and that's because my nail varnish remover actually leaked. And I had it there, and the bottle, I don't know if you remember me saying, one of my larger bottles of nail polish remover wasn't sticking down, it wouldn't stay down, so I had to transfer it into a smaller bottle when that had run out. So it did take the lacquer off, it spilt, but never mind, it still works. And anyway, I went over to the gentleman. There was a couple of guys, I think, I don't know if they were related or they just sharing a big store. They had like two vans, but they were sort of together. And I said, how much is this? And I pointed down. Oh, he says, oh, a printer. He says, oh, you can have it for £3. And I thought, I'm not going to haggle. I said, okay then, thank you. And but it can be £55 to £60 brand new, this size. So possibly even more. That's what it was originally, but I wasn't going to haggle because I knew these things could be quite expensive. And what I like this, and even my craft group, I've enjoyed it because they are quite heavy. I had problems lifting the other one actually, my other big shot, which is the A4 one, but this is the smaller one. I do take this to my craft group in a bag, and they enjoy using it because they can make their own, print, cut out their die cuts and everything, which probably won't be in this video, I'm not sure, maybe in a separate video anyway. So that just slides under there. That is so now I can lift it out and put it here and do some of the small pieces. Then when I want to do any large die cutting, I use the larger Big Shot. So that one I'm going to move now and put it behind. Now it might be tiny and I can swing round like this, but I've worked it because you can't see, but here is my embellishment drawer. Underneath is ribbons, paper crafts. You can see where this is going. I can swing round. I've got my glues here. I've got scissors that I can reach over, and I can swing round and get to my paper pads. So without actually getting up, I've got everything within reach. So it works out really good this way. So I'm going to move some of this now and get this all tidied up, and hopefully again I will state what everything is and just, you know, sort of have a natter. So some of these things I'm going to move over here for the time being. Very often I used to move these on the floor, but I'm trying to prevent too much bending down today. Due to the fact, obviously, I'm trying to have a sort of chill out day, but obviously chatting with you guys. But also what I'm happy about is I'm getting something done as well, when I don't get sidetracked with stuff pieces. And yeah, I have said this before, we like that word, stuff. And as I've mentioned, Diane Kelly, she's another one that I've been watching quite a lot. This is something, because I have got my little blackboard with meal planning, and this is from Poundland, I believe. And this is quite nice because I can just rip them off if necessary. And obviously it's got breakfast, snacks, lunch, snack and dinner, and then the days of the week. In one of my favourite colours, lilac. Yes. Favourite item, my youngest son bought me this for Mother's Day, and can't remember, was it £3 or £4.99, and this was from B&M, and I just love it. Of course it's owl, and it's got the little succulent plants. It just breaks up all the white and pink with the flowers. So I'm just going to get this all dusted. As I say, sometimes when I do a major clean in here, I will take all this up. Again, this is from IKEA, this plastic cover, that is £9.99, and the one on the floor I think is £19.99, just to protect the carpet tiles. So yeah, so this item here, I do like my golds. This came from, I believe, Home Bargains. I'm trying to think. It might have been one item I bought when we went to Dorset, I like to think, but again I'm not sure. But I know it came from Home Bargains. I think it was something like £3.99. I got this little gold purse thing, wallet, from Tesco's. It was the only one left, and I kept wanting it, but it was quite pricey. But I think I paid something like £1.50 for it in the end, so that was really good. I've just got some cards here. That is from Wellbeing, from the community centre, and then I do have my life planner. That was a gift. I did have it last year, but I didn't use it because I used the one that was from Happy Me on a Budget. That was all gold. So I have actually got to do June, and there's June. I haven't actually finished doing it, putting everything in, so that might be another video. As I said, it's not got a lot in, and I've got a lot of the different sort of paper clips in there, and I just like it. So, and then I've got just a diary that's not really used much, due to the fact, obviously, I'm not getting a lot done or going out. I wouldn't say I don't get a lot done, I'll keep going. And then I've got some stickers. I do like stickers, and I love these. I think, if I remember rightly, I think This sheep may have come from the works, I think. And then I got these dog ones, and I'm not sure where I got those from now, but yeah. And I often use those in my planner. They didn't fit in my pouch thing, which is over here. I got this from Wilko's. I think it was $2 or $3.99, and that has all my pieces for my planner. I've moved it off because it's getting quite bulky and it kept scraping on this, so I try and just have things on here that I regularly use. Like I said, this has all my plant stuff. It used to go behind there, but the problem is now, as I said, it's getting a little bit bulky. So, but as I said, I have everything in here to do with my planner, and everything is fairly well organised. I did share this a little while ago, and I have got some more stickers from the works there. I need to replenish a lot of my pieces actually once the lockdown is over, but now I just keep that at the side here just so it's easier, but it's still out the way and it's still accessible because I use it regularly. I've talked about my water container. I got a couple of these. I need a fresh wipe. These are actually from Poundland, and this one just says "You are loved." I do like positive quotes and pieces, and of course with this pink and white marble it just goes nice. This I haven't lit this. This is what we had for our 30th wedding anniversary. May this love grow stronger with every passing year, and that was from my eldest son and daughter-in-law, and we went out for a meal, and that was a couple of years ago. Right, this down here, let's just move this out so I can actually just wipe behind here. As I said, no sooner have I done it, I've got fluff, but I wanted to get it done. I do like this area. I like most areas nice and clean and tidy to a certain extent. Bedroom is a must. I don't like that, you know, messy or looking at clothes or anything. Everything should have its place, because I like the feeling of going to bed and just chilling and relaxing and knowing it's a fairly clean and organised space, if that makes sense. This actually came from the charity shop from Bernardo's. I think it might have been $2.99, I think. And I do like wooden things. I haven't really got anything in it. I sometimes have it upstairs, as you've probably seen, but at the moment it's in here. I do have a lot of white, and I did have acrylic containers. As I say, I do change pieces round. Maybe I'll bring the acrylic things back in. It all depends on what crafting I'm doing at the time, but I just like this here at the moment. I had thought about seeing about taking these off, rubbing it down and repainting it, and maybe painting it white because it is a bit scuffed, and say that might be something on my to-do list. This, I believe, if I remember rightly, came from Wilko's. My note-lit thing came from Poundland. I do like it because it's got the rose gold. I haven't found any more, and I think this is my last one. So, you know, it's a case of you know, if you like something, you know, pick 2 or 3 things of it up, so you've got the stock. And I have talked about all this. This is what I got in the south from Wilko's, and it came with pencils and everything. And then I've got some little dog clips here and a eraser there. So that just slots up there. And then I have this, and I think this came from, I'd like to say, One Below. I'm sure it was One Below. I think Poundland's got something very similar, but I don't know if it still is, but I think they were selling them for £2. I think I paid £1. And yes, more fluff. Do excuse that, but I can't do anything more about it, and I'll try not to keep going on about it. So yeah, So I do have my places for everything, and there is that one, and the candle there. So like I said, I'm not taking everything up. I'm not throwing this on the floor. I've got my bin behind me, and then I'll just quickly give this a wipe underneath. As I said, I keep even wiping it now. I can see fluff, and I have got a few little marks on my mat. I try not to use it for anything other. I've got a mat that I put on here when I'm doing gluing, but obviously this is some years old now, so it is getting a little bit scruffy, but that's what they are. They're to protect your desk and also from cutting. And also I've got this plastic one, obviously, to stop my desk from getting all scratched up. The only thing is that I have to be careful of the black marks on my scissors machine for making marks, because I noticed my major one up here was leaving marks, but they seem to come off all right, especially if I use one of those magic erasers. So I think we're about there, this part of it, and I think I've pretty much explained everything. I'm hoping you might be at the right angle. This is constantly in use, and I've explained all this before about my washi tapes. I do have a little couple of empty spaces now. Move it that way. There we are. It goes right back. These actually came from, if I remember rightly, they were IKEA, but it was in the kitchen again. And hubby laughed because I was taking these from the kitchen department and going over to where all the desks and chairs are, and I wanted to, and these as well came from IKEA. I've got 3 here with things in, and then my letters for my little letter box in the lounge. They've just little quotes and everything, and I've got some little magnets here that I sometimes use there. I've got something important like gems. They were Tesco actually. I think there was something they were on offer for £1 in sale. And I've got my stickers, mostly elf stickers that I got from Hobbycraft. But yeah, going back to the story, when I was thinking about having this desk, I took all these over and I was playing with different pieces, you know, like this. And a woman came over to me actually. She said, "Oh, that's a good idea." She says, "I didn't see that in the office." I said, "No, it's actually the kitchen department." She said, "Oh, that's nice." And the assistant came over to me and said, and I thought I was going to be in trouble. I said, "I am putting the stuff back, don't worry, I am putting it all back. I just wanted to see if it all fitted in. There is a bit of space at the back, and sometimes I used to put extra washi tape there, but there's none there now, just to stop it moving." And she said, "No, just leave it. She said, "I like that. You might have to put a note to say this is actually in the kitchen department." So yeah, I was quite proud of myself. I thought I was going to be in trouble for moving pieces, but I did promise I was going to put it all back. But I got my unicorn tape from and dispenser from Lidl, I believe it is, and of course all my notelets as well. I do get through a lot of those sticky notelets, especially where family members are concerned with to-do lists. Yes, and reminders. So as I said, I'm not sure, you're not at the right angle for me to show the other bit, so we'll get to that very shortly. And as I said, I have actually shared all that before. Basically that's more pencils, pens. One thing I do keep handy is these suckers. As I said, I use these on doors, windows and mirrors, and I use them all year round, so that's why I like them there. And can't forget my little Alpexes while they're there, and razors and just sharpeners and things like that. So I think possibly some of this may be in another video, but said I'm mostly getting cleaned. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my picture shelf, because the main areas I do when I'm cleaning is this area here, my desk, the picture rail here, and behind you where my filming, where I'm filming with my phone, I like to dust that and then hoover, or I use a wipe on the covering of my floor. As I said, I do take all the boxes down, but I don't do that as regularly as probably I should do. But usually I have a good clear out in January time and go through all the boxes and say what's in all of them. So I'm going to turn the camera and then we're going to have a look at the picture rail. There we are. I have to be careful of my chair because if I'm not careful I swing round, because obviously it's a tiny space, and knock these off. So very often I go this way round and make sure I don't knock the containers. So I'm going to stand up now, and so I can get my picture out. I'm very stiff. I did put my fleece back on, and yeah, it is very scruffy due to the fact that I was getting a little bit on the cool side. So there we are. So very cluttered, but I like looking at things, you know, especially things that I've either made or people have sent me. So I'm going to start this. I'm just going to move my chair over a little bit, and I can use my chair actually to put some of the items on and get it cleaned. So what I might do, because one thing I try not to do is put items back where I've dusted, and actually I did forget something, didn't I? The owl, crystal owl, was a gift, and this is actually a jewellery thing. I've left the little tape thing on, but it does come completely off, and this came from Home Bargains, and I think it was £2.99, so that goes on my desk. So let's put that back. Yes, again, owls, can't get away from owls. And yes, that's this is the money box I use for our granddaughter. I put try and put change in there every week. So I'm going to move everything off. I think I will put it all on my chair and up here, so that I can clean the shelf, and I'm not going to mention what else is going. So move all this over. So some of it I don't want to go back, and it's that bad I haven't even changed my calendar over. It's still on May, look. And yeah, I haven't written anything on there. We've got bits that have gone on the main family calendar, and I got my planner, and say got that little diary thing here as well. But I've got no appointments at the moment, so yeah. So May was make each day as flawless as your makeup, and that's May. And then for June, we've got never blend in unless it's your blusher. And I think, was this the Card Factory? It might have been the Card Factory. And some of this, I thought you could have done this before. Some of these have got that, but I like the design on this. But sometimes I can cut it right down, say here, and you can still use it, you know, each month or something. So yeah, I've said this before, I do cut a lot of calendars up as well, and sometimes I buy them even though I've got a calendar, and I've paid something like 10p, a penny even. I remember years ago Wilco's used to sell their calendars off for a penny, just to get rid of their stock, and it's a good idea also to cut them up. As I said, I've got a Thomas Kincaid one, if I remember rightly. I haven't done anything with it. I just love the cottages, and I have in the past done one of his jigsaws, well, the design of it anyway. So let's carry on and get this done. I probably will put everything back for the time being. Sometimes I do try and declutter it a bit. So that those are there for, I was going to have one more shelf, and then this was going to go over, sort of over this way, so I could put some of my smaller boxes, but whether I do that I don't know. But at the moment I just put hide it with one of my pictures. This actually came from Poundland, sometimes it does come a little bit apart. You buy the prints, this is the bigger one, and then you can buy the frames. So that cost me about £2 for that. So, and I love that. So yeah, again, I haven't got round to doing much on makeup wise, so I'm going to dust the shelf and get all this done. And the mirror, this I think I said was Poundland, but I think this one was actually B&M, what I remember, because I'm sure it was £1.99. Again, when I turn the camera you'll see both these units here that I've showed you with all the drawers, they actually, the top opens up and then mirrors, but obviously because I've got stuff on top I wanted a little mirror, because sometimes I come in here for makeup, my accessories, which again you'll see when I turn the camera around. So get those all dusted. I'm going to pretty much put this back as it was. I just wanted to say give it a little bit of a dust until I work out whether I'm still going to have my shelf here. It's going to stay basically the same at the moment. But as I said, that might be coming further over. I'm putting the card up, and I've kept the envelope that I got another card in, and this again was from Anne from Crafty Batty, and I'm sure she won't mind, but I was thinking about, because I love the paper so much, that I might actually, if she doesn't mind, I'm sure she won't, include it in my junk journal, which is down here, because the colours are fantastic. As I said, I'm still working on this. Turn it round, and it will go, the colouring will go brilliant. And I thought I like the letters as well, so thank you, Anne. I will be using that in my junk book. But again, it's something I've put up here to remind me to use it, because I am actually going to go and use my junk book and do a bit more into it. Hopefully, if not this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. Again, calendar with nothing on. Right, this mirror here, this was just a Poundland one. Again, once I've worked out whether I'm going to do it, I don't know whether to just, it's not as though I'd use it as a mirror, it's more for a decorative bit. I thought about putting it up here. I know you can't actually see it, but I'm sure you'll understand. So let's put that back here. So some things I've left out, just the fact that I've got things that I need to do with them. This actually was, we had quite a few of these donated, and she said pull it to bits and do something with it. Someone got married and gave us a lot of flowers and everything, but it goes with my colour scheme in here, lovely, and it's, to me, summery, and it has got the pearls. This actually reminds me very much of the colour scheme I had for our wedding. We had more of a peachy colour, but I had pearls on my wedding dress. I had them in my bouquet and everything. So yeah, I haven't done anything with that. I probably won't, because I do like it. I didn't want a big shelf because obviously only a small space. And then we've got mini box. Now, where did I get this from? I don't know. I think this might have been Poundland. I really don't remember on that one. And then obviously the boxes, which I'm actually going to give to a neighbour, because I have got some nail polishes in my stash, and I wanted, like this one, to put maybe some emery boards in and a nail polish and everything, just to brighten a day up, and I might be doing that soon. And as I said, you know, you can put little chocolates and just give them as a gift. So yeah, we do keep our distance if we talk to each other. Like she came a couple of weeks ago, I think. She knocked on my door and went to outside my gate. We were having this conversation, and I've done the same to her, you know, knocked on the door, gone out of her gate and spoken to her that way, you know, just to check on each other. So this is another one I made out of the book you can get from the works. So yeah, and then this one was a Primark one. I'm sure it was Primark. Time is now. So it's just rejiggle. I said really and truly there is too much on here, but so I'm doing things, and if I give myself a week or something, maybe I will shift some of the bits that need to be shifted and get things done. So there, da 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 da, is my picture shelf. So I'm going to turn the camera around so we can do the other bit. This is going on for so long, I'm hoping I'm not boring you to tears, but yeah, although I think I've heard my son moving about actually, so he must be getting up now and say he's got a day off. We was supposed to be doing gardening, but I don't think it's going to happen. The ground's too wet and everything, so we shall see. So I'm going to turn you around so we can do this bit. I hope this angle is okay. I've just put you on my desk. Put you on the desk. Sounds good, doesn't it? Put my phone and stand on the desk, and I've just extended the stand, so hopefully this is okay. I'm not going to lift this off, not today. This, if you remember, is the project I had. It holds all those little containers I got from Poundland, and it has all my craft pieces in, but mostly just get another wipe. I just want to dust on here. And as I said, this is what I painted. Abby also helped. And this was, say, the cupboard that was blue. It had like Mickey Mouse type thing on. And we rubbed it all down and painted it. So at the top here, I've got all my sunglasses. So some have been used and some have not. So they're handy and can be used. And then I've got a few little unicorn things. I've got this one, I think this is Poundland, and this has got the I love you little hearts that you can add to your craft projects. And let me put that there. And then I've got this jar that I got off, I think it was £2.99, and this came from Asda. So I've said this before, girly bits, you know, it's my girly space. They're just the hooks, because they were actually in there, but I've kept them because I think it was used for a, I think the Disney Mickey Mouse storage for their books. I think it's the ones that you possibly get online, I don't know, but from the internet, but I've kept those just in case I want to use them for something. So I'm going to put all this back because it works out just fine. So put those up, and then I've got my glasses, the pink ones that I wore at the weekend, as I said, because I've got accessories here and in the top here. I've got my jewellery, rest of my jewellery, my watches and everything. I haven't worn watches for a while, at least since lockdown. Yeah. We do have a lot of clocks, digital clocks and things like that around our home anyway. So there we are. And then I say got all my jewellery up here. And yeah, I've even got the Christmas still up here, which is pine cone that we did with the kids and everything at Craft Group. Really and truly, that should go in my Christmas box. Again, I've left it out, and it really ought to go in my Christmas crafts. I've kept it, so we might do it again this year. I've got a few owls and some jewellery. There is jewellery that I don't tend to wear, and I keep saying it. The items that I'm not wearing, I'm slowly, if I can't pull them to bits and use them for something else, a project, then I'll get rid of them. So that's that. And then, like I said, this is the big, and it is really heavy. I'm just going to balance this on my chair so I can just give this a quick wipe. And I've said this before, they do lift up, which I can show you with this one now, if that is out the way. Look. And you've got some storage. So originally I did have that up, and I would have my sort of jewellery, and I used to love, I might do it again, but I haven't really got the room at the moment, is I used to use a lot of cake stands to show off jewellery, or I used to have my perfumes. I don't have a lot of expensive perfume, but I used to put my perfume collection up as well. So let me just take those off because they might slip, and put Big Shot back up. That I got from Hobbycraft. I think it might have been something like £250, but it was the starter set, and it had a lot of papers with it. It had some material, it had the instruction manual, a plate, and some die cuts. So it had everything to go with it. Hobby bought me this a fair few years ago now, and you know, I'm really loving it, and it really does work out well. Bit of a mark on there. Get that off. Might have to use another wipe on that. So that is that, and then I'm just going to wipe the floor down, hoover and everything, and then I'll be finished in here. Right, I'm going to finish this video here because I think it's been going on for so long, and you can always check my playlist of my craft and office cubby. I do have a separate playlist for that, which this will include, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And the natter, if there is any questions, you know, just comment below. I will do my best to answer them. Whether I go into my private life anymore, you must understand some things, especially when it refers to other members of family, I have to be obviously careful what I say and what I share. But with myself and hubby, pretty much a lot I've shared, and also how we've met, and hopefully, you know, have stuck it out to the end. If I have it as one part, we shall see. I've got to piece it all together, check it all over, and just see. So if you've actually stayed to the end, thank you very much. Look after yourself, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.